Hi, it's Eugene Ebner with BroadwayWorld TV. Look who I'm with. The brilliant Natalie Douglas.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Well, because you're also award-winning. You're a cabaret star. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going to say it.
All right.
But I also did, that also can be sometimes cliche.
No, it's nice. Thank
It's
you.
fun,
It's a compliment.
right? Yeah, but you really are. And I'm so honored to be sitting here with you at Birdland. We love Birdland. We love you. And I just found out off camera, and I have to let everyone know that you've done over 70 shows here and counting.
I know. I don't know what I'm thinking.
I think you are not only a cabaret star, but you're like the queen of Birdland.
Oh, I should be so lucky.
Or are you one of the queens? Get it?
Yeah, really. There are many. No, I love it here. You know that. It's been my New York City cabaret home for 15 years.
Yeah, amazing. And I was really excited to know that you're doing more of the tribute shows because I got to see you do the Cher tribute show.
I know, that's fun.
Which I loved. And I also loved your sparkly heels.
Yeah, those were good
You
shoes.
never disappoint with that
No, I sometimes I buy the shoes first.
Yeah, and
as soon as when I did the Elvis show, I bought blue suede heels first.
Okay, so what? I guess it's a surprise, but you have many shows coming up that are tribute shows, but the one on March 25th here at Birdland is Roberta Flack.
I know.
I love Roberta Flack.
Me too. She's just amazing. She's such a brilliant musician, first of all. And you can really hear when you dive into the music how much her piano playing influences her singing. It's not one or the other, or it's not as if they're two separate disciplines. They're all who she is as the artist. And she has things that I love. The voice is beautiful. She has great taste in music. There's as much fun, like kind of silly poppy things as there are deep, romantic, soulful things. And also things that are political in nature, which is a feature that's almost always in one of my shows. So
Yeah, because you're passionate about that.
yeah.
And I admire you about that.
Oh,
I like that you take a stand and you voice what you believe in because I think that's really important nowadays.
Yeah,
and you've helped, you encouraged me to do that more
cool.
too.
Oh, thank you. That's a great.
Yeah.
I just think it's important for us to be real human beings, and real human beings have opinions about a lot of things, and
true.
it's not just the more we bring of ourselves to what we do, the more we touch people with it, because that's what I want to see when I go into a room. If it was just about hearing songs that I enjoy or hearing new songs, I would just get people's albums and listen to them at home, and
Good point.
wouldn't have to get dressed up. But the experience of going out and live performance is something that I really love. My parents took me when I was really little. I mean, I think my first concert was probably pre-verbal, because I certainly remember concerts when I was 4, and that was not the first one, So I love the experience of listening to live music, all kinds of music. And I think what makes that even more meaningful is when you feel like you're sharing something with an artist who's a person.
Yes.
And you get to know a little bit of who they are or what they love about this music or why it means something. Curtis Stigers is a great, brilliant, jazz voice. He sounds amazing, but there's this kind of quirky stuff that he talks about when he's on stage upstairs. And I'd never miss a show because he's just so himself.
Right, because like you said, he's himself, he's passionate about it, he's and for me, like, what I loved about the Cher show, too, even though I know a lot about her, you brought in some information I didn't know.
I try.
So you really dig deep in that sense, too, with your information, which educates. That's what I love. Another thing about cabaret is everything that you've said, but you learn. You go, oh, my God, I forgot about that song, or I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And then, but like you said, you do it within your own style and flair as Natalie Douglas.
Yeah.
How do you decide... Okay, I know there's many artists that you probably love and admire, but okay, so you decide, okay, I did Cher, I did this person, I did... How do you decide, okay, I want Roberta Flack, or Nat King Cole, or...
I don't, a bunch of different ways. I mean, sometimes it's suggestions. People have... I've been singing The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. It's been in shows of mine around the country and actually overseas. A lot, but I had never done it in a show here until my birthday show this last year. But I've been singing it for many years, and it's a song that gets good responses, and I love. Mark Hartman's arrangement is just breathtaking. And so when I did it in the birthday show in January, somebody said, "Are you going to do a Roberta Flack show?" And I was like, "Oh, wouldn't that be fun?" You know, and then the more I thought about it, because off the top of your head you think, well, but you know, how many hits are there? You know, and I never know whether I'm super enthusiastic about a performer, and that means other people are too, or, you know, I mean, sometimes it's obvious. It's Cher. You know, come on, we all love Cher.
Right.
She's Cher. But, you know, so sometimes I have an idea of whomever I'd like to do, but then I have to start to do the research even before I settle on the show to say, are there enough songs that speak to me that I want to sing? Because there can be great songs, great artists, whose music just doesn't feel like me.
Makes sense.
And so I'm not sure how to get inside it and tell the story. Because, like with the Sammy Davis Jr. show, with the Elvis show, with the Nat King Cole show, I don't change the genders. I don't, you know, but I also don't impersonate the guys. You know, I'm not trying to be them.
Right.
But I want it to be clear what it is that's special, the essence of whomever these people are. And I know that people come to the shows who are huge fans, mega fans. They know more than I do. And they don't know me at all, you know. And I know there are people who come here because of this glorious room. You know, it's Birdland. And so people want to come to Birdland. They visit New York, they go to Birdland. And then there are people who come to see me who maybe don't know much about the specific artist.
But they know that they love you, your style, and the tribute shows because that's turning into something that's a little bit of a niche for you.
So I know that I have to tell stories that entertain all those people. You know, I can't just talk to the super fans and tell only the obscure things and not cover any of the basics and sing only the deep cuts, you know, because there are going to be people who are casual fans of Streisand, you know, and they want to hear certain things. So you know you have to put that in. But I also know there are people who don't know anything and they want to hear a little of, so who's this, why is this person important, why does it matter to you, you know, why should I care? And I try to find things that are really human again. You know, it's who we all are as human beings is a huge chunk of who we are as artists.
I agree. And something that I just want to touch on that I think is really important for anyone that's watching now that wants to get into cabaret or is maybe a newcomer to cabaret, you said that you do the research first, and I think that's very valuable because I think people that don't fully maybe have attended enough cabaret or know what it's about, you really do have to make sure that, like you said, that it's a show that can be something that is not just a couple of songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
And you have to connect to it.
Yes.
And
you
I
have
think
to know that this is your show.
Yes.
Because there are some artists, we all do. There's some, two summers ago, I did a Linda Ronstadt show, and just this past January, Anne Hampton Calloway did a great Linda Ronstadt show. Like, there are artists that we all love, and we all have our own personal point of view when we do tributes. And there's room for all of that because we are individuals, and so we approach it differently and we sound different singing these songs. That's fine, but my Linda Ronstadt show has to be mine. You know, what I think are the songs that I want to share with an audience, and that I hope they love if they know, and I hope I find some things that they don't know. Like in the Cher show, we did one of the few songs Cher has ever written that very few people know. I didn't know it, and I'm a huge Cher fan, but I am not as big a Cher fan as the amazing Jim Caruso. And so Jim turned me on to a song that she wrote about the end of her marriage with Greg Allman. And it's beautiful. I mean, it is breathtaking. I went nuts when I heard it, and I couldn't wait to sing it for people because I knew that there are plenty of people who love Cher the way I do, and are, you know, more than casual fans, but maybe didn't know this piece either. And it's so much a slice of who she is, you know, and her deep feeling.
Like you said, because one of the few that she wrote, And then I remember that evening, and I actually had not heard that song either.
Yeah.
And I do love Cher. I've even met Cher a couple times. So
Cool.
yeah, and just to let everyone know, even though I know this isn't necessarily about Cher, but since we're talking about her, she was just as nice. She was the same in person as what you see.
I totally believe that.
There's no double thing going on. She was direct, but kind.
Sure.
But cool. But anyway, back to you and back to Roberta Flack on March 25th.
Yes. Who is also kind. And I found stories about her, and every story I've ever heard, so far everything I've found, she's deeply kind. She's very giving, very generous, and really, really smart. She knows her stuff. And the way she finds songs is fascinating. And she's the only woman to have 2 back-to-back Grammy Award-winning songs.
I didn't know that. Now, of course, we know some of the classics.
Yes.
But one, and I mean, this is a classic too, but one that is in my head right now is that "Where Is the Love?" The duet was with that. Yeah, I love that one.
Too.
I don't know if you remember this one, and I'm sure you do now because you're doing the show. But there was one when well, I'm not going to give my age away, but a while ago.
Sometime ago.
A while ago, it was a newer one of hers. It was called "Set the Night to Music"
with Maxie Priest. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just think that's fun too.
Yeah.
And
she has a lot of duets. Well, there's an entire album Donny Hathaway and she created. They were both at Howard University at the same time, and that's how they wound up singing together. And then a couple years later, when she was making, I think it was between the first and second album, maybe second and third, they sang together and thought, oh, well, maybe we should do a whole album. And in fact, the gorgeous Camille Disconsolate, the hymn that is on their tune, the church tune, on that album, it came up because they didn't have enough songs to fill out an album. So they thought, well, what do we both know? And I think Roberta was Methodist and Donny's Baptist, or other way around. But they knew the same church song from when they were growing up,
and that connected them.
And okay, let's do this. And they literally created this arrangement, which is so hot, like that. Just both playing and singing, and okay, you sing here and I sing there, and
that's so cool and creative. But see, this is the kind of information that you're going to be able to learn when you come to the show. Besides loving her and her gorgeous voice. So we thank you for taking it so seriously, but yet being so amazing and fun and sparkly at the same time. And when I say that, I mean that you take it seriously as your craft and you deliver every time. And I love all of the creative aspect that you bring to the table with honoring all of these great singers, composers, artists.
I have a whole slew of them for this year because we have one show a month, basically for the rest of the year, a different show. And I'm going to bring back the Elvis show because people have been asking about that one. We did that just one night last year. But next month is Nat King Cole.
And I love that music. Well, I love all of them that you're mentioning. So anyone watching, please come out, not only on March 25th at Birdland, but we also have April 29th. And then the list goes from there and goes on.
May 20th and June 24th, there's the dates.
So you just have to keep checking, not only on Natalie Douglas's website, social media, but also Birdland. We'll always have that information. We love you. Thank you for spending time with me today.
It's so good to see you and chat with you on camera, because we can just chat.
I'm just going to tell everybody I was lucky because she let me have lunch with her when I was newer to the community recently last year, and she really was very loving and kind and gave me some really good advice. Thank you.
No, I love meeting you. That was such a fun day.
Yeah, it was fun. All right, thanks.